Then I started going room by room to check where this cat is.
Whew, that's a hard question because it started some time back when we were dating.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Arfio hashtag.
Figuring it out.
My name is Leah Kigondo.
I'm Boy Mehake.
And thank you for joining us for this new episode. So today's episode is about transitions that have happened in our lives. Since the last time we actually released an episode.
Yeah.
In 2023, I know we took a break. And it was a while break, it was a needed break. And I know sometimes people might say, oh, you guys are not being consistent and all those things, but it was necessary for us to be able to take that break. So we are here to share with you some of the transitions that took place. I know we have given a catch up in our previous episode, but now we want to go deep into one major transition that happened. As you guys know, we used to be roomies, housemates, and then that was one of the changes that took place last year. And so we just want to hear about everyone's experience. How are you feeling about the episode?
I think I'm really excited. I feel like there'll be questions that will also allow me to be a little bit more introspective. But if you want to also see our journey as roomies, we have an episode we shot last year.
Or last year, but
I'm not sure. We have a roommates episode. You can watch that, and then after that, come back and watch this one and just see how we are different apart from just looking very smashed.
I know. Yes. So this has been one of the transitions. Anyway, so this episode will be a bit unique. So we have one person share their story of being asked questions. And then they'll have to answer those questions, and then we move to the other person, and then they'll be able to share their experience. So let's talk about what transition exactly happened, and then maybe we can now do the transition. So for me, I was left to live alone.
Wow, it was so dramatic.
Sure, I was dumped. So you know what? I'm out. But anyway, so I currently live alone. The journey has been interesting. So that's what happened. What negated the transition? Or boy will tell us. So what negated the separation?
So this is my fault.
Totally. How can it be mine?
Let's just say I got confused.
In a balloon?
Somebody came and all of us.
Somebody came and just got in between us.
It was hard to be three people. But I got somebody who came and disrupted our roommating agreement that was going on, and so I moved, and now I'm not living alone.
Yes.
I'm living with someone.
I
think that's enough context for now.
So we're going to be sharing how these transitions happened, how is our current life with a partner, living with a partner, and how living alone has been, and how that transition has been for me. So I think we can jump into it.
But just before that, remember to follow us across socials on we_r_feel.
And make sure to hit the subscription button and the notification bell so that every time we release a new episode, you get notified.
Yes. Let's get into it. Alright, so we are going to start with the first question. How are you feeling? Are you ready?
I'm good.
You look ready. Okay, so my first question for you is, could you take us through how because we know the transition happened and we have that recap. Take us through how you were feeling around that time when you knew that transition was coming.
So the feeling before the transition happened.
When you knew now this is happening.
I think in a way, until things happen, sometimes you really don't know how to feel about them. So I'd say I was more because at that point I really wanted to move out and move to a different house, different location, different place. That was our plan at the start of the year. Or it was me and his plan at the start of the year. And so in my head, I was very just focused on, I also want to move, I want to be in another place. And then now there's now this whole different things. Okay, now we're not looking for a house together. I'm looking for a house alone. I think that was a bit also scary because it was like moving to a new place alone, a new location, and all that. So it was a bit, I think I was more anxious and a bit more confused, but also I didn't also know how to feel about it because it was still in the works. And I think this started a bit earlier, like it started I think 3 months before the moving happened. So I don't know, I feel like I'm not sure how I was feeling at that time. I'd say I was just like, I knew it was happening, but like I didn't know how to feel about it at that time before it actually happened. I think I was just like focused on what are the things that I needed to do, what are the things I needed when the movement happens. And I think also that was just maybe a way of not me sitting down and like actualizing what that would look like now that it would happen. I think it was just a way of me to just keep myself busy and not think about the transition itself. But yeah, so I think I masked a lot of my feelings and I just like focused on, okay, this is happening. The logical part of it, yeah. I think I did more of the logics part of it than the feeling. How am I feeling? How am I? Yeah.
And like, what about when now it happened? Like when I was packing stuff.
Yeah, it was intense. I think that was one of most challenging time even for our friendship. I think we didn't know how to communicate with each other how we are feeling about what's happening. And I think we didn't know also how to like be there because we are also transitioning differently. So I think it was a very hectic time. Emotionally, it was like, oh, this is a person you would be like, oh, let's do this. Now, that's not part of their plan. Like, it is not, you're not doing things together anymore. So when I'm thinking, I need to think myself, what am I going to do, and all those things. So I think it was such a huge shift all of a sudden from like, oh, there's this person you do things with, there's this person that you need to consider, to now you need to just consider yourself. And it was quite an intense time emotionally. I was feeling I think there was a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of, how would I put it? I think the feeling of like loss. There was a grief actually. A bit of grief of something that you are used to, and then it's no longer there. So like that thing has now ended. And so I feel like maybe I felt a bit of grief, and I felt like that time was like something that I was used to, it's no longer it. Yeah.
And how are you feeling now?
I think I've gotten into the system. I think I've gotten into the system of living alone. You know, initially I thought maybe I'd feel more lonely or more like wanting to be or seeking attention or some of those things to kind of like fill that gap. But I actually feel like I have settled into myself. Like it's so easy for me to get myself in the house and like not even listening to anything and not occupying myself with noise or anything, and I'm just there. And I actually realized that somehow I actually also enjoy, one of the things I learned is that I enjoy my own company. And I think I'm becoming more comfortable in being in my own space, in making my own space however now I want it to look like, and exploring it however I want to look like. I feel like I think after the process, I think I'm understanding, because it was also a good thing that you also, like, one boy was moving in with another person, and I think it's just being that's part of a transition, that's part of progress for her. as much as it was sad from my end, I was also like, that's a good thing that has happened. It's rare. It's not rare, but it's. I think I think it was a good move. I think something that we haven't seen so much in our family happen. Or yeah, it has happened, but like I don't know. For me, it felt like so close home.
Yeah, it always feels like
very far. So I don't know. It felt so close home, and it was good for me to see that. But I now feel more calm, more into like I'm learning how to just without like someone else maybe around there. Yeah.
Let's talk about your space.
Yeah.
Because now you've settled more into living solo.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you've done to make our what was our home? What have you done to like now make it Leah's home?
Is that anything different? I think it's something in work in progress. But I think it was not even maybe like the space itself, more of like things that maybe we used to do that now have changed to do them in my own way, like when I cook, how I do my shopping, how I arrange things in the house, how I don't know, just how I go about the house.
Yeah.
If I may say that, I think it feels maybe just a bit different. How the house looks like, I feel like it's something that's work in progress, definitely. Next is one of the things I want to be intentional about. Just change up a bit to make it feel the way I want it to feel. Like however I'm feeling about it. But the house has also become very minimal. Like when you enter my sitting room, I think I just have a carpet and seats. Yeah. So I'm trying to think what do I want to have this space look like and feel like. Something I'm still figuring out. But yeah. It's something I'm still figuring out. But I think there are some just very few things, and maybe just how I go about things now that's a bit different. Yeah.
Okay. And are there like certain things you've already discovered about yourself, or learned about yourself? Anything surprising? Like as you've spent more time on your own in terms of the house. Living alone doesn't mean that a person is alone. It's just yeah. So are there maybe some things habits you've started, or maybe something say maybe artistic you've discovered you like? What are some of the things that you now discovered about Leah living on your own?
One, I think I knew this, but maybe I do it more now. Cleaning, I really don't like dirty, constant dirty utensils. I don't like utensils keeping in the sink. Then I used to like I would be the one who washes utensils more, but I think maybe because kitambo it used to be like you do it, I do it, you do it, I do it, but right now it's like I don't like seeing dirty utensils. It icks me a lot. And the other thing is I actually come to realize that I love cooking, but my cooking is usually like if there's someone else who can cook, I want to be the one to first jump at the opportunity of cooking. But nowadays, I get myself cooking a lot, cooking different things, trying out different recipes, and I really, really enjoy it. And I think mostly I enjoy cooking when I know I'm just cooking for myself, just in case things go sideways. But then when I after I'm done, then it's good. Then I'm like, oh, by the way, you guys can try this and you can try this. That's when I think the other thing is just I didn't know I can enjoy my own company without noise. Just be like I'm just in the house doing things, and I don't need like background noise. I don't need music. I can just be in a quiet space, and I'm okay. And I just can sit with my thoughts and think through things. So I think that's one thing I have learned, or I've also been intentional about making sure I can be able to just be alone in a space without feeling noise or something. Anything else I've learned about myself? I think the rest of the things, just the things that I've learned about myself are not necessarily because I live alone. I don't think they're necessarily because I live alone. I think it's just part of growth and like identifying other areas of growth and stuff like that.
Okay. Just through your habits. Let's say today is Monday. Take us through. Take us through Sunday and Monday.
So I feel like I'm a very like structured person. So on Sundays, I'm trying to go to church. So on Sundays I go, sometimes I don't go. So the Sundays that I go to church, I go to church early in the morning from 8, come back by around 12. So the day before Sunday, because I usually know it's difficult to get things to cook, I usually buy them on Saturday. And so by Saturday evening, I've already known what I'll be eating for the week and what are the things that I need. I've also identified the recipes that I want to try out and what I need. So I buy those things on Saturdays or Fridays, depending with how my Saturday looks like. And then after 2, and I get home, I eat breakfast or lunch. In between, so it can be like a breakfast-ish evening. So I can call it brunch or something. And then after that, I start cooking. I cook for like 2.5 hours because I'm cooking different meals. Preparing and then cooking and then cleaning after that. And then I take the rest of the evening to just rest and relax and chill.
So you're cooking for the whole week?
I cook for
You're doing meal prep?
Yeah, I do meal preps. And then I got like 2 small things that I pack for the they're so cute. So that's what I use. Then after meal prep, I do my cleaning because now numbers are considering the amount of different souvenirs I'll have used. And then after that, I rest then Monday. So Monday I wake up at 3:30. I go to the gym by 4. Then I work out for 2.5 hours until 6:30. Then I come back home, I shower, then I read for like 30 minutes. I do my devotion, then read, and then start work at 8. So guys, by the way, I'm employed. I know we don't share so much about these things.
8 to 5.
So you have an 8 to 5 job. So I do 8 to 5. I do my job. So most times if I'm not doing my intermittent fasting, so there's a high probability I'll eat in the morning, then have a snack at 11, then have another snack at 2, then I have another snack by 4. By 4:30, I don't like eating late. So by 5, my eating is done for the day. So actually now that's a cycle for all the days until Friday. So that's how it is. So I build a structure. I prefer working with a structure and a plan because that makes me feel more in control of my day, and just getting to know what to do. And then in the evening after work, I usually have I think my first days of the week are meetings. So I have have a business, selling gym accessories, and then I start now other things that I'm interested in. That's when I look at those things. Usually I sleep by 9:30 latest.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Is there anything you miss about having a roommate? Because you've talked so passionately about living alone. So
I think watching movies that I used to sleep every time we were watching them. I think that's where. I think also on Saturdays we used to wake up and then prepare breakfast and then just sit and waste time. I think those were good ones. Or we'll decide to go and buy things and then see just go for 1 hour, then we go for the whole evening. Because of that, I think maybe also getting out of the house, because sometimes I can be lazy. can believe during the week. Or if I don't need to get out of the house, I usually keep telling myself, oh, I'm going to get out of the house today, I'm going to get out of the house today. And then the day ends up like, oh, I'm tired. Like, yeah. So I think that used to, because also we used to cook every day. So there's a high probability that you probably would get out to buy something. And now that I don't need to cook every day, then I can literally be in the house because I work from home. In the house for a long period of time. Yeah.
Okay.
And hosting together. Oh. Yeah, I think that's the other thing. I think hosting alone can be a lot. Yeah. So I think hosting together, that's something also I think I miss.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll miss going forward.
Another question.
Yay.
Now that you're living solo, Leah,
That question.
how many boys have you had over in the house?
You don't ask
How many have crossed the sitting room?
Do not ask that question to a girl. It's like asking a girl how old she is. You're not allowed to ask a girl that question.
Just how many range?
And that is how
1 to 2
close that chapter.
1 to 2.
Thank you for your question.
Usually when somebody is dodging a question, it's hectic. Okay, last question for you.
Yay.
Second last. Have there been any funny, memorable incidents that have happened while living alone that you'd like to
share? Yes. This. Okay. And I think so. One of these, actually two, and they have involved animals.
Two.
Yeah.
I know
one. This one. So the first one was a gecko that kept going around the house, and then it went to my bedroom. I could not sleep. I kept hitting it until it got out of the room. And I closed the room, even put some to stuff Kuchini so that it doesn't that was traumatizing. I was just like, God. Yeah. And then the other one. So that one for me, it came in through the bathroom, and then when I was in the bathroom, it fell. Oh my God. I've never. Oh my God. That was terrifying. I know it's a small thing, and yes, but still. And then the other one was that I was cleaning, and then a cat just came into my house, entered through the back door, entered the house, and I didn't know where it was, and it was huge. So I'm not a cat person. For all cat lovers, it's not my thing. I actually don't even like them. Yeah. So this cat is huge. It was coming to the house. So I started going room by room, checking where this cat is. So I checked under the bed. I went through all the all my cabinets, in the 2 bedrooms. I checked under the seat. I didn't see a cat. So, but I was just like, maybe it has used that, because my door has like a home that maybe it could put here there. I thought it might be that smart, right? So I went and slept kwanza, but I made sure I have locked all the doors to all the rooms so that it doesn't move. And if it's in one room, it can stay in that one room. But I made sure it is not in my bedroom. Okay, so me in the morning, I wake up, as usual, go to the gym. I didn't see any cat, nothing was moving, nothing. I went to the gym, came back, showered, wore my short shorts and my long t-shirt. Yeah, thank God you are from home. And my home socks. Then I decided, let me go get my sitting room blanket. How do we call them? Fleece blankets, right? So I just pulled it. This quiz today is heavy. Oh God. Come back for Danny, that's where the cat was. Oh my God. And then it just like stretched itself a bit and it didn't move. So I left it on the floor. I called our caretaker to come and help me with this situation. So like I went like where my seat is and because I needed my keys. So that I can use the back door to open for the caretaker because they couldn't use the sitting room door. So I walked on top of the seats. Paul went and grabbed the key. And then I went to open the back door. Yeah. So apparently the cat belonged to one of my neighbors and they had already called the caretaker, actually asked me where the cat was. So yeah, they came for the cat and the cat was very nice. Actually, the caretaker first came and then checked and then the cat moved, started running around. Then it went to and hid on the inside the curtains on the window. And then the neighbor came for it and then the neighbor was just like talking to it, don't worry, just relax. I'm here to get you. After traumatizing me. Yeah, so those has been two incidences where I'm like, God, now we need to bring a man in this house because that things I can start handling. Yeah.
Oh God, I'd forgotten the gecko story, sorry, because I only remember you said you were screaming in the bathroom.
Oh,
it was so funny.
Yeah.
Let's see, as a last question, if you were to advise anyone who is looking at, maybe they're moving from home, from their parents, and now they want to live solo, what are like 3 things you would tell them about just living on their own?
Advice. I think just to develop a system for yourself that works. And it's your space, make it your own. Like just make your space your own, like make it your own home, make it feel the way you want it to feel. Like I wake up and I'm just like, if you today don't feel like making the bed, it's your home. Like don't advocate. Okay, we don't advocate for not being neat, but just make your place to feel like home to you, whatever home looks like. And also invest in your home, in your space. It's okay for you to buy like things. I think because of how you're being brought up, we don't appreciate, like right now is maybe when we appreciate like artifacts in your house, so like just small like little things that make your house look aesthetically pleasing and creating the ambience that you need. It's okay to invest in your space. So just, and I think living alone, I think one of my friends, and I told one of my friends now I'm living alone, they told me this is when you're going to get to know yourself way better than you have, because right now actually like I think realizing like what are some of the things I'm interested in, how would I want my space to look like, why would I want it to look like that, then because you have so much time alone you tend to sit with your thoughts a lot more. You tend to like analyze, by the way today this happened, how do I feel about it, or by the way there's this thing I'm thinking, or like that, like it's so easy for you to just like know or see what you're thinking, or like you stay with yourself so much that now you become like you're very conscious even about your own thoughts, because you sit with them a lot of times. So just create a structure that works for you, make your home your own. And I think you'll get to learn a lot about yourself as you live alone, because there are a lot of things you'll have to figure out alone.
Right, and with that,
adios. Okay, so tell us how the discussion of let's move in together started or happened, and what triggered that, or how did you get to that point? You and your partner, and you can tell us.
Okay. That's a hard question. Because it started some time back when we were dating, because we dated like, I think this is year 4, if I'm not wrong. So we started having the discussion very early in the year. And I think there was also some hints of it last year. So it wasn't like, boom, let's do this and then we did it. It was like progressive, like trying to, I think both of us was trying to bomb each other into like the idea of like just cohabitating. And I was also like very keen to I wanted to have the space like live with Leah, and I also wanted to see what living with a guy would look like. So there was a little bit of curiosity. So when we talked about it, initially it was like I was very curious to see the dynamics of how it would look like. And then when it started being serious in terms of conversation, and then it was like, let's look for a house. And then sometimes I was dodging, and then sometimes I was going. And then I liked houses that were hectic. So I don't know, I feel like it was just a long journey of like starting to like talk about let's move in together. And then when I was like, okay, let's see how moving in together looks like, and then the journey of looking for a house. Yeah, it took a while. I think we really warmed each other into the idea. But I also, we had a custom of like I'd go to his place half the week, and then I think that dynamics really helped, and it was easier even for us to like now settle to be like, okay, let's actually live together. It took a minute, because there's a time we wanted to do it, then we had a big fight, and then we like took a break from each other, and then came back again and was like, okay, let's do it, and then that's when we actually did it.
Who was more for it, and who was more like the cheerleader of the idea?
I think I want to say both of us. But I think this year, I was more for, okay, I'm serious. I'm serious. If this is what we are both comfortable with doing, then let's do it. And I was very intentional. I became more intentional this year about like now looking for, not this year, last year. Gosh, this is 2024. So in 2023, I was now more intentional about, okay, let's actually look for space. Let's explore areas around, as like a specific area where he was more comfortable with, and I was also more comfortable with, because I work from home, so I can work from anywhere. So it was more for him in terms of moving to going to work and all of those things. So it was coming from both of us, and then now looking for a place was more me this time round. It was more, I want a place like ABCD, and then us now making time to go and look for places over the weekends. Yeah, and I think we were both very calm about it. Like, it was not feeling, it was not, there wasn't like anxiety between us two about that, because we had already spent a lot of time together in his house, in his place. Yeah, so.
What were some of the fears you had going in?
First of all, some of the things that before we actually got to us moving in, I had a list of things that I wanted him to tick off that would help me with some of my anxieties. So I told him it's important for you to meet my family. I think this was actually the only boyfriend that Leah has met.
Imagine.
So, and that's one of in terms of anxiety, that's one of the things that gave me a lot of peace, that Leah knew him really well. They had interacted a lot, like over the years. He knew his character, his personality, so that gave me like a lot of peace. I didn't have anxiety, a lot of anxiety, especially because of that. Because I was also very, I'm very confident in my friends like Leah and Gina being able to identify people who would not be a fit for me. So in that regard, I didn't have like a lot of anxiety. And then I also had some of the things that I told him are important for me before we do this. Like, you need to sit with my family, you need to go to my mom and my dad and like ask for, like, do it in a, I wanted it to be done in a very respectful way. I wanted to honor my parents. So, and he was like, I could have done this earlier. You know, he was very, let's do it, what are you waiting for? So I think that really helped me, because I was like, if he respects my parents, if he respects my friends, he respects my opinion and what is important for me to, so that we are able to do this, that really helped with the anxiety bit that, yeah, this person is serious. And I was also like very happy that when he interacted with the family, everybody just warmed up to him. It was like, for 1 minute I was like, I didn't exist. Kwanzaa, after the whole introduction ceremony, and then he went out, and then I went to the house, and my mom and her friends, there was nothing about, oh, Rita, you're such a good girl. No, it was like, he's such a nice man, he's such a warm man. And I was like, yeah, I did the choosing. But anyway, yeah, I think that also like punguzed my anxiety, just that validation. Yeah, I think that's the right one. Validation from my family, my close friends. Yeah.
Okay. How did it feel when you officially started living together?
I think that's when now I got anxious. I think I got really, really anxious. Especially because we moved to a new kind of like place. It's quote unquote kind of like very ikondani. It's not like I can't just walk out and go to the shop. You know, it's, yeah. So when I moved in, I was very anxious. I was anxious about how will the space look like, how will mornings look like, how will sharing everything look like. I was anxious about how will my routine look like, because like living with Leah, we had gym, like there was a routine we had, there was a routine that I had, and I was very anxious to see how that would look like, because like the gym dynamics would change, the time I read, the time maybe I cook. Yeah, I was very anxious. Like, how am I supposed to behave? I know, like, I was very sure and very confident going in, but when I got there, I was feeling like a little bit unsettled, and it took me 2 months to now like feel like I'm settled in, and now like call the place or the house, like now say my home. It's actually, even right now, it's kind of weird when we are talking and then somebody says, oh, I'll come visit you. And then sometimes we're like, oh, you can come visit us. And then I'm seeing me and Leah, because I was used to us being me and Leah. So now I have to catch myself. And that took a minute. So yeah, I was really anxious. And just when it happened, like on the first day, hey, I have like 2-3 pages on my diary, just ranting about it.
How did you now get out of the anxiety to now like owning and like bending your own system, and how did you guys get to like merge your routines, or what was that process looking like?
Personally,
before that, does it now feel like home?
Yeah, it feels like home. Anytime I go, because we have an L-shaped seat, and I sit on the shorter L, is it? The shorter L. And I go there, and I got like 2 fleece blankets from my in-laws, and when I cuddle there with my book, and he likes watching news. It's so weird. So he's watching, I don't know, one of the news channels, and then me, I'm there with my wine and my book, and it feels like home. It feels like, because sometimes I can put everything down and he can turn off the TV and we can just stay with each other, and sometimes we talk. He's very funny, so most of the time I'm laughing. We can just not be talking, and then we just sit there together. So it definitely feels like home now. It didn't at the beginning because of all the anxiety and being unsure about how we'll us now. Because it's the same space. It hit me, nikipanga closet. Like putting clothes in the closet. Me, I put my long dresses for the whatever your space, your refu. I put my long dresses, I put my tops, like I folded my jeans. And then you can hit, I need to make space for his things, his suits and his shoes. And then I was like, now this is not my bedroom. This is our bedroom. That was weird. So, yeah.
So how did you get over the anxiety? What helped you get over the initial anxiety to now feeling comfortable?
Yeah. I talked a lot with him about it. I told him I feel very unsettled and unbalanced. And something about Jay is he gives you space and he allows you to feel your feelings and he allows you to process and then he allows you to communicate. He doesn't, like, how are you feeling? Okay, I need to fix it. No, he just, when you start talking about something, he might prompt you, but he'll allow you to say ABCD, I don't feel. Because I was like, babe, I don't feel like I'm still feeling very anxious. And then when I told him, now I feel like after the 2 months, I was like, okay, now I feel like this is home. And then he was like, how did you, like, why were you feeling it was not ABCD? So I think talking it out with him was very therapeutic.
Yeah.
But I also personally did a lot of, I've never done yoga like I did your time. I was queen of yoga. I was just anything, even during the day and I'm at work and I feel, I just went to the sitting room, removed the table, and then just did meditation. So I was trying to ground, to find like grounding for myself. So yeah, I did a lot of that. I did a lot of journaling, just trying to pour out my feelings. I intentionally wanted to be alone, but I wasn't alone, but I wanted that. Just because we didn't even have guests in the house for the first 2 months. So, and that was very intentional because I was not feeling like it's home. So I was feeling like, so yeah, I did a lot of those things. Just trying to get into the rhythm of things. Yeah, I think that's what really helped me, especially talking, because I was a blubbery mess. I was talking all the time, or sometimes I had just moments when I was feeling very overwhelmed, and then I would cry. Yeah, I think if ingekuwa like a movie, I would be sitting still, and then the next scene start I'm crying, and then I'm sitting still again, then I'm doing yoga, and then I'm sitting still, and then I'm doing something on my laptop, say work or something. Yeah, that was my routine of just how I got out of it.
So, let's get into hot topics. How long did it take you to christen the success in your house, or is it still in progress? Where did this first start off?
Oh my god. That is a very hectic question. Very hectic. I think if I answer it, nobody will come through the door. So, yeah, let's just say it was a fun christening.
Did the anxiety in the moving affect any part of intimacy in your relationship?
At the beginning, yeah. I know this might be TMI, but figuring it out. Before the moving, this was good. After the moving, that department suffered a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, I think both of us, even for him, he didn't communicate it. But now when I think about it, there was also a bit of anxiety around moving, even for him. Because me, I was living with you. Yeah, he's been solo for years.
Yeah.
So you can imagine me going and saying, I don't like things being done a certain way, we need to do this a certain way. Yeah, so some things, it suffered a little bit, but I also think it made, like, the space now is, like, we have, like, big space, and then anything can happen anywhere. So yeah, we recovered.
I don't know if I want to visit. What do you enjoy most about living together so far?
What do I enjoy the most? I want to say cooking and eating time. And I say this because in the morning, and our morning runs. I love, like, we wake up, we dress up, and then we go for a run, and then when we are coming back, we are usually walking and talking all the way back. I think that I love spending my morning people. Like, we go, in the morning we don't talk much, like tukiamka, you prepare, you go out, you run, usually silent, go run then. And then tukirudi, it's now when we are, like, talking about things, slowly walking back. I think that's just, that makes me really happy when I start my day like that. It's not every day, because sometimes the weather with us, but I like that part of our morning routine. I said cooking because Jay sees anything on Instagram, Reels, and he will send it. And when he sends it, he's like, can we try this? Can we cook this over the weekend? Like, you know, and then I'm telling him, this needs ABCD. And then he's like, okay, then he gets what we need. And then, so our Saturdays and Sundays are, mostly Sundays for Saturday, maybe for your family, friends. Sundays are mostly now for experimenting with his recipes. I also now I'm like finding also some things, and I'm like, let's try this. And then we try cooking. Some meals take 3 hours in the oven. Sometimes I burn stuff, but he eats it and he says thank you to the delicious meal. He's a polite man. So yeah, I think, and then eating time Monday to Friday is our, sometimes kama it falls within news, we can't compromise, watch news, all that guys. But eating time is no TV time, so we usually are just eating and asking each other how the day was. And we've developed a routine of what was most difficult about today and what was the highlight of your day. Yeah, I like those moments where it's just experimenting, or it's just us without other things.
Oh, that's good. I think that's very intentional.
Yeah.
Have you thought about long-term goals and plans as a couple?
Yeah, this took time because I don't like the ambiguity of a structure. Like when I think about my career, and that's something I was very intentional for 2023, long term, in terms of my career, where do I want to go? And that's not very clear for me. And then now when we moved in, or even in terms of savings, like I knew where my money kikuja najua inaenda wapi. But now living together, the first few months I was still doing my money. Like, don't touch my money, we don't discuss my money goes where my money usually goes. But now later on, we were like, and I was actually the one who brought up the conversation, because there's something I read on Should I, a book by, I don't remember the name. Do you remember the name there?
Should I?
By Bet, yeah. And one of the chapters is about couples and money. So, and that's a book he actually got me for my birthday. So when I remembered and I see Bet's posts on Instagram, I was like, oh, we need to streamline our finances. And that's when we started discussing our long term what we want to do with money, ABCD, what are some of the loans we want to take to be able to do certain things. Do I have a loan outstanding? Does he have a loan outstanding? Because I'm of the mindset of we need to clear anything quick, because now we are two people. If he has a loan outstanding, I'd prefer we clear that up. It's okay. If I have one, clear that up. It's okay. And that's something I took from Mpumi, about spend the first couple of months or like the first couple of years, however long it takes to clear your debts, and then you be debt free, which allows you to do more things together. And doing more things does look like taking a loan and starting a business, or taking a loan, like, you know, and it's easier now because you don't have a crippling loan that you're still paying off. You now have things that you're now taking together, paying together, investing together. So yeah, that discussion has been had up to like a couple number of years. I think it's around 3 to 5 years. So, but I know things can change.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm very open to it. I feel very confident in us being able to manage our finances, especially because he's very mathy, and I am looking at, you know, where can I tip my toes in terms of just putting money and risking some stuff.
Okay. So second last question. Are there any funny or interesting stories from the moving process?
Yeah. TMI bar. You know how we watch reels and they say men take hours in the washroom? Like, yeah, in the toilets.
They do.
Lord. That is something I need to account for in my time. So when we are going for a run, so we run, say, at around 5. So if we are getting out of the house at 5, I tell Jay, please, wake up at 4:30 and then go and do your business. And then once you're done, we can go. When we say wake up at 5, we are leaving the house at 5:30. And then I don't even know what they do. Because nasikianga too, like, I think anakuanga Instagram na X, Twitter. Because you hear vitu zinacheka tu kwa nini, ama unamsikia anacheka tu. It's so confusing. So yeah, I can't believe that's my life now, that I'm accounting for that 30 minutes, because I accounted for everything. Even like today when we were coming, yeah, you need to count that in the schedule. So that was so sikuanami, because I saw it in a reel and I was like, nah, that's not true. And then boom, here we are. Anything else funny that has happened? I don't think there's anything else. I'm trying to think about. No, I think the other, maybe, I don't know if it's funny for other people, but for me it's funny. Jeff fears washing anything glass. So like my blender is glass, our blender is glass. My wine glasses, anything glass. I don't know. It's so weird. So he washes, when he's washing the dishes, unapatanga vitu za glass, candle. That's for me to do. So, yeah.
So for someone who's considering moving in, looking from a lady's perspective, what advice would you have for them? How would you advise them to prepare for themselves for that season and that transition?
How to prepare? Let's see. So I think how do you want to actually move in is very important. For me, it was important that I have ABCD and we tick ABCD. ABCD was him being able to be my family. You know, like I wanted the people who love me and value me to meet the person who I'm going to be doing this with. So I know sometimes we are like, oh, I'm just moving in with my boyfriend and then we see what happens. But this is a person you're living with. You're breathing the same air 90% of the time. He's seeing you naked. He's seeing you. You live in the same house. So I think it's just wise and smart that people around you who love you interact with this person, know this person. And I'm not saying that, oh, Rita, but I'm not moving in with a stranger. Yeah, I know, but for me that was important, and I think it's just doing your due diligence. of just having the people around you who love you and care about you, knowing this is the person that you're moving in with. Another thing is take your time settling into your home. I know for some people maybe it didn't happen like mine, but mine was feeling so chaotic. And I think it's totally okay. Like that process of, okay, how do we cook? How do we clean? Even like kugawanisha house chores. Because you're not going in there to, you're going in as partners. So how does that look like? And that's something we talked about before we moved in. I was like, babe, this is what will be happening. There's cooking, there's cleaning, there's laundry, like maybe the laundry lady is coming, there's between electronics, and then we were like, me, I can do this, and then he's like, me, I can do this. And there was harmony in terms of how things would happen before we moved in. So like having that conversation. And then one thing that I've really been intentional about is my relationships with Leah, with Gina, with my sisters, like with my mom. So yeah, but now I feel like it's having them close, and also my partner knowing how close I am to my people is also a way of just, I don't want to say it's like a backup, but it's a way of him knowing that I have people who have my back, and then I also know he has people who have his back. So that interaction really helps when I'm going for his things and he's coming for my things. That's a preparation of just knowing who is in each other's lives, who is important, who are the people that may give you headache from the other side, so that just you're cognizant. Who are the people that he's comfortable around, he's not comfortable around. They might seem like small things, but they're very important in your interaction with people in his life. So also having that, knowing that from his perspective is also important. Yeah, I think that's what I have to share.
And we're done.
Capiche? Hello, I hope you enjoyed watching our transition episode. I'm just talking about my living station and Leah's living situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I've also learned some things about now how the dynamics looked like for you.
Yeah.
I totally agree. We handled it like,
crappy people.
Yeah, like crappy people. Is the advice that we give. Nah, we were not taking it.
Yeah.
But I think it was a difficult but good and necessary transition for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. How do you feel now after the episode?
I think I also learned more about your situation and how you felt through that whole period. It's unfortunate that it was not shared, but I'm happy that I'm hearing it now.
Yeah, we will beef about it later. But thank you for watching. Remember, please subscribe. We have, is it 1.6k, Amma? We have 1.6k people subscribers. Yeah, so continue subscribing. We really want to just grow our channel to come at 2,000. And make sure you watch, share with your friends, friends who are moving into kuishi with a guy, and friends who are now transitioning into living on their own. And follow us on we_r_fear across all
social media platforms, and make sure that you leave comments there. What do you think about what we have said? What are some of the struggles you're having when you're moving out? Maybe even moving out from your parents' house and starting living alone, or you're actually moving in with your partner. Let us know. We'd like to interact with more of your content, and we can be reading them, if any, in future.
Yeah, and if you have any further questions about both situations, let us know. Just drop it in the comments, DM us, whatever, Instagram, on YouTube, and we will be able to respond. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you, and bye.